everyone, welcome to Employees Corner here at UBA Sierra Leone, where we bring you inspiring stories of growth, resilience and excellence. So today we have a special guest, a trailblazer in the banking world. Now imagine being the first ever Sierra Leonean to pass the UBA group's toughest exams, which is the GMAP exam. Isn't that wonderful? Well, that is what exactly Aiah Gbakima has done, and he's here to share his incredible journey with us. Aiah, welcome to the show. Okay, so you're looking so good.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. So Aiah, how did it feel the first time you got selected for the GMAP program?
Well, it was a fulfilling experience for me, really, because imagine taking on a journey and you are the only candidate from your country, a global bank, a continental bank. So it was a moment of excitement, it was a moment of fulfillment, but it was also a moment that brought a strong sense of responsibility within me, because I knew it was a journey of that I'd never walked before in the banking sector, and it wasn't only about myself, not only about my family, but also about UBA Sierra Leone and the country also. So I had this feeling of representing the bank and also representing the country at a continental and also at a global level. So basically it was a sense of excitement, of fulfillment, and also...
All right, so we all know the exam is super tough. So how did you prepare for it? Was it late night studies or extra study time? Or what are some of the strategies that you implemented, or what is the secret?
Yes, so it was a series of assessments, of examinations, right onto my recruitment as a trainee with the bank in the program. So basically, there were time schedules, there were time windows for the assessments.
Okay.
So honestly, I had no idea what I'd meet in these assessments. So there wasn't any time to actually prepare or study or go through materials and all of these things.
Okay.
But basically it was logging in to the learning system, onto the mail they sent, and just, you know, attempting the assessments, the examinations. So basically it was a test of intelligence on the spot, nothing based on earlier preparations, no.
And that means you're super intelligent.
Yes, thank you.
You know, taking us back from your years of going to school and all of that. So I still remember Aiah Gbakima is a huge name in this country. You know, your WASCA examination or BECA examination. So just take us through your journey.
Yes. So of course, I'm a Regentonian, and this is our month.
Okay.
We're celebrating our 180th anniversary. So basically, in GSS 3 2016, I took the BECA, and I actually emerged as the second best candidate in the country. And then 3 years later, I took the WAS, and that was the point where, you know, God proved himself really faithful. He's been faithful all through, but at that point, I emerged as the best candidate in the country in 2019.
Okay.
And from then on, I proceeded to Furabe College. I studied economics, and I graduated as the best in my faculty, Economics and Development Studies. So from there, I worked a little for Orange, Money Sierra Leone, and then I found myself in UBA after going through the GMAP. So that's my journey, and it's been one that's very fulfilling.
And you must be a genius.
Thank you.
Congratulations, by the way. So you were competing with different candidates from Africa. So were you at some point scared, or if you were, then what got you motivated?
First of all, I wasn't scared.
Okay.
Definitely I wasn't, because I decided to take on the program. Yes. I applied, took the assessments, the executive charts and all of that. And I felt I was ready to actually compete with people right across the continent and even around the world, if that was the case. So yes, I believed in myself. I wasn't scared, but that doesn't mean I didn't need motivation. Okay. I always needed it.
All right.
And that came from the thought of why I started. It's not cliche, but whenever it got tough, whenever it got overwhelming, I always thought of why I started in the first place. Okay. And so that kept me moving, that kept me going. And you know, the interactions I made, the groups I joined, the people I met, very accommodating. But I also understood that it was down to me being responsible, me actually holding the banner of UBA Sierra Leone and Sierra Leone high. So I wasn't scared, but I was motivated because I always thought of why I started and where I want to be in the finance world at the end of the day. So that kept me going, and that pushed me to success.
Okay, so fast forward to your graduation in Lagos. Take us through that journey.
Okay, so actually it was almost certain that I wouldn't make it for graduation because the arrangements for my departure was stalling.
Okay.
But thankfully at the 11th hour everything worked out well and I left. So I was warmly received. That's me giving my journey in Lagos. I was warmly received at the airport and we moved to our lodging. It was good. The events leading up to the graduation, they were all very good, interactive. I met a lot of people I only saw online in the previous 6 months. So it was a wonderful experience right up to graduation day. So on the day, it reminded me of the fact that we were not just gathered for that day, we were not just gathered for that occasion. Yeah. We were also gathered for the financial future of the continent, the financial future of also the world at large, how the African continent can actually impact the global stage. So I was always reminded. A lot of big names were in the room, the group managing director, the chairman, Mr. Tony Olumelu. Yeah. Their speeches were really motivating, inspiring and all of that. So it really reminded me that we were trained, we went through the rigor not just for that day. Okay. We were trained, we went through the rigor, we went through all of the sessions we went through for our contribution in many years down the line. The legacy we will leave, the people who will inspire, the people who will motivate to actually transform the financial landscape of the continent and also of the world at large. So for me, that was the highlight. Listening to them, meeting with people, the grandeur of the occasion, and the fire it created in my belly, you know, to actually create this impact. Yeah. So that was the highlight. But generally, my stay in Lagos was good, a beautiful city. Okay. At least the places we moved to, it was really beautiful and it was a lovely experience.
So can you mention one of the places you visited?
Yes, I actually lived in this place called Amba Residence in Ikoyi, Lagos. I visited, of course, the grand place, UBA's head office, 57 Marina, Lagos Island. So that was one of the places I visited, a huge, fine building. Wow. Besides that, we moved around the city, several places, Lekki Phase 1 and all of these other places. So it was good.
It seems you've known so many places already.
Well, yeah, it's a beautiful city, big, huge. Yes.
Yeah. So upon your return, how have you been Talek when you don't come out alone, and then you know your friends around, your family members, and they all knew you went to Nigeria for your graduation, and now you're a banker. So how you Talek, you know, walking around the streets and the sea, we see you on television, you know, stuff like that.
Yes. Honestly, I don't ever think say it would blow this big. Okay. I never thought of that. I just felt it would be very quiet.
But you know everything that enters UBA, it's always big.
Now it's very much confirmed that everything that involves UBA is huge. I never knew, but this is the magnitude of the bank I've joined. So it's wonderful to be here, to say the least. But as I say, I don't really know. So now that it's happened, you know, the congratulatory messages from family, from friends, from, you know, people around me, it's good, it's wonderful, but it's very important also to keep your feet on the ground even while you aim for the stars, you know, to stay humble, to make sure your head is together, not to lose sight of actually where you're going. Because before this time, I would say I aimed for this position and now I'm there. It means I should aim for maybe a higher position. As people say, the top of one mountain should be the bottom of another. So it's very important that I keep my shoulders to the wheel, you know, and keep moving, keep achieving, keep pressing on, and in the end create the impacts that I can create in the banking sector, in the financial landscape, in the continent, and also in the world at large. So yes, it's a beautiful feeling, and I hope it serves as an inspiration to others, to everyone watching this, you know. I hope it does. Yeah.
So in effect, you've set a record. Now, what is next for Aiah Gbakima?
Well, what's next for me is, as you mentioned, I'm now a banker with a bank.
Okay.
So that's good. So what's next for me? It's about I would say giving back. Okay. It's about being of service. Yes. It's about actually creating an impact. You know, I've blazed the trail It's about, you know, to the best I can do, nurturing others, inspiring others, motivating others, and actually giving my best to the bank. You know, so what's next for me is service, giving back, working with all diligence, with all excellence, with all enterprise, and with utmost execution.
Okay.
As you would almost say that with me. So that's me giving back to the bank, giving back to the continent, Africa, and giving back to the world. You know, it's good to always create an impact, create a lasting change, and in the end, see how we can make the world a better place in our different niches.
Exactly, that's so good. So for young professionals looking up to you, what advice would you have to give to them?
So to you young professionals,
Yes.
Always believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. Right through, well, my journey for now, I'm still at, I'd say, the cocoon stage. But so far, if there's anything I can say as an advice, as a counsel, it's about always believe in yourself. Always know that if you are given the opportunity to be at the table, prove that you deserve to be at the table. If you are given an opportunity to be in the room, show that you really deserve to be in that room. Always believe, always strive to be better, always strive to adapt, always strive for growth, because they say every day is a classroom.
Exactly.
And so it's not limited to the banking sector, the financial sector. It's about life.
Across, yeah.
It's general. So you always have to have a growth mindset, a learner's mindset, where you think about how can I develop, how can I grow. And it's not only about yourself. You think when you grow, how can you pull others up? How can you motivate others? How can you inspire others, you know, to come up the ladder with you? So it's important that you always see growth. It's important that you always believe in yourself. And it's important that you always give back and be of service.
Yeah. So now, Aiah, before I leave you, before I let you go, do you have any message, you know, to UBA Sierra Leone, to the staff and management?
Wow, that's huge. This is a good opportunity. So first, I'll start with UBA Group.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity, this training that they host. It's very, very impactful. It's very needed for our continent, you know, equipping us with the skills, the expertise, and everything that we need for growth and for impact. So I'd want to say thank you, first of all, and I'd want to encourage them to, of course, I believe they will continue, but just to say everything they can to keep this going, to keep this alive, because I'm the first in Sierra Leone, but definitely I don't want to be the last. Others should come after me.
After you,
others should follow the trail. And that can only happen if the program runs. So it's important that the program stays alive, that they continue showing that they are actually invested into building the next generation of leaders, that they actually invested into bringing people who can create change, who can create an impact in our continent and in the world. So that's my message to the group. Thank you to them, and I hope that they continue with this. And to UBA Sierra Leone also, of course, it's thank you. There are several people here that I can mention it by name, but but thank you to all of you. You know yourselves specifically, but I'm really grateful for the opportunity, to the managing director, to the lead HR, and several other key people. They've been really instrumental in this journey. Thank you to them, and also basically to keep blazing the trail in banking, in finance, in Sierra Leone, because we can all agree, of course, that UBA is a huge bank, and we have to keep working, we have to keep striving, we have to keep pushing and moving, because the world is ruthless. Competition is very ruthless. Very. You lose focus, you sleep, and then you find yourself in the mud. So you always have to be alert, you always have to keep yourself moving and pushing. And I hope that the platform they've created for me will continue to be there, so that others can hop on the train and also realize their dreams, more so specifically their financial dreams. So thank you also to UBA Sierra Leone, and I hope this program continues and you continue creating a landscape for people to actually benefit from and grow and make a change eventually.
The story is truly inspiring, and your hard work has shown that Sierra Leoneans can stand in any global stage. So if you've loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories.
And before we go,
I
owe you a gratitude.
Oh yes, no, I remember. Yes, I am still waiting.
Yes. Thank you very much for this session. I really appreciate it for facilitating it, and I hope people out there have been inspired.
Okay.
I really hope you all have been inspired.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're so happy to have you here.
Yes.